Hello my loves, so I'm back with my fourth and final back to school hair tutorial for the month of August. As I promised, this month was absolutely crazy and I can't believe that get it together. Summer is already over. It's actually kind of making me a little bit nauseous. So in my last back to school hair tutorial, I focused on 6 different heatless hairstyles that you can do for school. Now, these 3 hairstyles I'm going to show you in this tutorial are also heatless hairstyles, but they're much faster and much easier to create. So you can literally create them in 2 minutes or less. And just like my previous video, all you're going to need is I'm okay. All you're going to need is a bunch of bobby pins and some small hair elastics. Now, I did clip in my 240 gram set of fancy hair extensions into my hair to give my look some extra volume and length, but you can certainly recreate this on your natural hair or even if you have short or medium length hair. So without further ado, here are my 3 running late back to school hairstyles. So this first hairstyle is super quick and easy and perfect on those days when you're just rushing to get out of the door. So basically all I did was gather all of the hair around my crown area and I tied it into a little ponytail at the top of my head. Next, I'm just loosening up the hair around my crown area and then I'm creating an opening just above the hair elastic and I'm pulling the ponytail through the underside of the opening and I'm pulling it out from the top just a couple inches or so. This trick is going to create this cute little bun and all I'm doing is fluffing it out and pinning down the sides of the bun to my head with a few bobby pins. For the second look, I'm just gathering the hair around my crown area in the back and I'm leaving out some face framing pieces. I'm separating that section into 3 strands and I'm beginning to braid a regular 3-strand braid, and all I'm doing is incorporating a chunk of hair from the outside of the braid to every 3rd crossover. So I'm going to cross each strand over 1 time and do that 3 times in total, and on the 3rd crossover I'm going to add in a strand of hair from the outside of the braid. There are really no rules for creating this particular hairstyle, so if you want to incorporate a section of hair from the outside of the braid into the braid on the 2nd crossover, you can do that as well. The end result is going to look more or less the same, but the difference is if you add in a section of hair into every 3rd crossover, it's just going to take you a little bit less time, and that's the whole point of these running late hairstyles. So once I braided a little past the nape of my neck, I'm gathering the braid together with all of the remaining loose hair and I'm tying all of this together at the nape of my neck into a low ponytail. So as you can see, there's a really cool French peekaboo effect going on here. The only difference is it took you less than half the time because we were only incorporating a section of hair into every 3rd crossover. Now all I'm doing is taking a chunk of hair from the underside of the ponytail and I'm wrapping it around the base of the ponytail to cover up the rubber band. I'm using a bobby pin to secure the wrapped section to the underside of my ponytail. And lastly, I'm pulling apart the braid just a little bit to make it a little looser. The idea for this 3rd hairstyle is very similar to the one I just did previously. It's another lazy braid, but instead of doing a regular 3-strand braid, we're going to be doing a lazy Dutch braid. So all I'm doing is gathering the hair around the top of my head and I'm separating the section into another 3 sections and I'm starting to braid a Dutch braid. Braiding a Dutch braid is just like braiding a regular 3-strand braid, but instead of crossing each strand over each other, you're going to cross them under. So just like before, I'm going to be incorporating a section of hair that's about 1 inch in thickness into each 3rd crossover. And just like before, depending on how much time you have or how lazy you are, you can either incorporate a section of hair on each 2nd crossover or each 3rd crossover like I'm doing here. The main thing to keep in mind is that the sections of hair you're going to be incorporating into the actual braid itself are no wider than 1 inch in thickness. And that's because if they're too wide, you're going to lose the entire effect of this whole uneven French braid. Another thing that I wanted to mention is that if you're going to be incorporating a section of hair into the braid on every 3rd crossover like I'm doing, you're going to notice that the same strand is going to get thicker and thicker. Now, I personally don't mind this because I like the look of an irregular braid. And once I finish incorporating sections of hair into the braid itself, I'm going to show you a quick fix for this. Okay, so once I've got to the point where I want to stop incorporating sections of hair into my braid, I'm going to just continue down with a regular Dutch braid. And to even out the strands, all I'm doing is taking the thicker section and I'm incorporating a little bit of hair from that section into the other strands to even them out a little bit. And once I've done that, I'm going to continue braiding a regular Dutch braid until I have a few inches of loose hair at the bottom. Before I tie off the ends of my braid, I like to go in and pull apart the braid to make it look a little bit more messy and undone. And I personally really love how I have a little imperfection in the middle of my braid because I think it gives it so much more personality. And to be honest, when you're running late for school, you really don't have time to be perfect. This hairstyle turns out even better the more messy and the more irregular it is. Alright my loves, so that wraps up today's tutorial. I really hope that you enjoyed it, and for those of you who are going back to school, I wish you all the best. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and leave me your comments down below. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel yet, please be sure to do so I know what I want to say in my mind, but it's not coming out of my mouth. One more time, Nikki. You can do it. And take 1351. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel yet, please be sure to do so for more videos like this one. Yes. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you guys in my next video.